the window had been busted out and part of our gear had been stolen.
There's nowhere to play up here at all.
I'm sitting there kind of by myself, like waiting for my manners, and the mirrors, like the mirrors kind of like spin open like 90 degrees, like they kind of rotate open, and all these women in sexy lingerie can come walking out from behind the mirrors.
I'm just going to throw this out there that it almost sounded like you were kind of the dark side sometimes of the scene.
Just when I'd parted ways with Monuments, and so it was really, really desperate time of my life.
At the end of it, our bass player told us, like, he just looked at us like, yeah, this is my last show.
So, like, basically back to the Beast era.
Dealing with this alcohol intake, and we're at a Christian festival, and we're supposed to be a Christian band. I was kind of like, man, this sucks. This is not a good look.
Welcome back to Dark Side of the Scene. I'm your host, Brandon, alongside Ed.
Ed.
I
wonder how many people on podcasts eat ice cream, because apparently it froze up when my tongue was sticking out, so I'm probably lip smacking. Gross.
I thought you were going to ask, I wonder how many people that listen to podcasts suffer from Ed. I was like, we haven't got the sponsorship yet.
Oh yeah, eventually. That's our goal. At least one of them. That kind of reminds me. I don't know if this is a rant. Could be. I posted a video on Instagram, the dumb things I'm making, just little death metal songs, and it's like in like 6 hours, right now it's over like 1K views, and it's like, man, why even be in a band anymore? Like, why don't I just be like a content creator, make some dumb shit? Like, I'd be working for myself. I don't have to have arguments with the other band members. Like, why am I even in a band if like it didn't take long to make a little shitty, dumb, funny song versus like if I made a video for my band that's actually serious and that we put effort to go to a studio, and it's like I didn't get as many views on our own music video than I did on my stupid little, I don't know, content, silly, funny video. It's like, why am I even doing this?
Isn't it annoying that all the work you put in doing band stuff and then you do something just as a joke in like a small amount of time, and the band doesn't get the recognition as your joke stuff does?
Right. So it's like, why don't I just do joke shit like most people?
Like, that's what people want these days, apparently, because anyone that spends a lot of time and energy trying to be in a band, it's like people just don't give a fuck anymore.
Right. I mean, I know some of them use that to get their band, push their band, get more notoriety for their band, but it's like, I don't I don't know. I don't think I could do that. Like look what I did just to push my band. I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with people. Like, I don't want to deal with band members. How about that? I'll just make some dumb videos.
That's the route that I think so many people have gone to, is they don't want to deal with other people anymore. Because when you deal with other people, you have to deal with their problems as well. So it's just easier to cut everybody out and just deal with your own bullshit and do it as you want to, and you don't have to worry about anybody else.
I mean, it depends if you're like, you have great collaborative skill. Like I have okay skill, but I don't know. I guess my band's weird. I like to do homework and then just give it to them, and then again, like I said, other podcasts, we don't really have a lot of time to like collaborate. We only got like a short amount of time, and it's like I don't want to waste it because you only got so many hours of practice to do something. And if somebody's like talking about random shit that has nothing to do with practice, then well, you know, your whole like 2-3 hours is up and you got nothing done. Versus being at home and making a dumb video where you're your boss almost.
Yeah, I get it.
Right.
It's just one of those things. But anyone out there that suffers from the same issues, be sure to send an email to Brandon@darksideofthescene.com and we will get you scheduled.
Yeah.
And you can come on here and talk with Ed and I about the dumb shit that you guys have to deal with. Again, the show has been out now for several months by this point. Appreciate everyone that's stuck around with us.
Yeah.
The average person that listens is probably like only listening now because they're waiting on us to do something really fucking stupid. But maybe someday we won't disappoint you. We'll do something very fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But until then, we're sorry to disappoint.
Stupid is my middle name, though. Isn't that good enough?
We've got some interesting guests lined up for future episodes. So, I'm gonna quote the band thing that you never say. Big thing coming, guys. Big thing's coming.
Right.
And then nothing ever pans out with it. What was the big thing that was supposed to happen? Oh, we're gonna release a new song soon. Oh, one that's like no one's gonna listen to.
And it needs to be like a under a minute video, like I'm
Yeah.
making,
Yeah,
and then people pay attention.
yeah. It fucks the algorithms over. That's what it
Yes.
actually is. It's all those algorithms. You got like for Instagram, I think you have under 30 seconds, and for Facebook is under 60 seconds. Fight the man. Fight the
Yes.
system.
Yeah, fuck the system.
But yeah, we got someone waiting in the wings. We're gonna bring them on in, but sit tight. Hold on to your butts. We'd like to take this time to welcome our guest Damon on the show. Damon, thanks for coming out and talking with us.
Excellent. Thank you guys. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Definitely. So what is it that you actually do? I know we've talked a little bit and we've reached out about the
Sure.
stuff that you do, but a little bit of background about yourself.
Sure. Yeah, I guess I'll keep it short as a courtesy to everyone involved. I was a musician. I am a musician. I was in bands when I was much younger. I was in a band with my brother. And so we were, listening to cool, heavy stuff and, started creating and forming bands in the neighborhood and stuff. And kept pretty busy for a long time. I started playing live when I was 17. And I played live and toured until I was about 30. And then I started helping other bands and my friends' bands because I had assembled and amassed so many contacts and so much information to, being the point of contact for my band. And I guess I was a bit just hyper and super driven, and I was super convinced that we were going to be successful. And I just pushed and pushed and pushed. So I just had a massive catalog of contacts and information. So, I was probably about 30 years old. I rolled over into management and started managing a couple of bands, and ended up getting a band signed, and took my portion of those proceeds and rolled it into the management agency. We've been running the company Interlight Agency ever since. So yeah, musician, artist manager, artist development, booking agent, and recently my business partners and I here at the agency have launched a big free booking agency called Get Gigs, which is online and growing daily. We're super proud of it. It's been really cool. It's like I said, a free booking agency. We centralize available gigs and available booking help. So venues and booking agents and promoters are posting their available dates and their booking contact, and bands are show swapping on there. It's super cool. It's a profile basis, basically its own little social network, booking specific social network. So very proud of that, and that's been a big part of our last couple of years as well. So yeah, and that brings us up to now. I've just been in this forever, so yeah. Musician, booking agent, band manager, and like I said, the big focus for the last 24 months has been building and launching Get Gigs, and we're now at over 3,500 profiles on there. It's growing daily, so it'll be interesting to continue to watch that grow and see where we go with that, what happens with that.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Is it strictly U.S. or is it a global thing that you're doing with it, or how's that work?
Yeah, I mean, we opened it up. We opened it up. It's global. There's stuff from, all across the UK and Australia and I mean everywhere. There's stuff from everywhere on there. I'm surprised every day, new stuff comes on and I'll get up in the morning to look and see what's new. And it's just there's stuff from everywhere. But yeah, so everybody's come. There's all genres and all locations. Like I said, the venues and booking agents are saying, hey, we need a support band for this date, or hey, we have these dates open, so musicians can get on and filter the available gig posts by genre, location, and date. And then also musicians, like I said, are show trading. So there's opportunities to get booked, pretty much everywhere. So yeah.
I'm actually surprised venues want to do that because most of the time they don't want to put in the work. They make the bands do it. So that's kind of like refreshing to hear, because most of the time they like somebody under them would probably look for like openers. And I mean, well,
They usually just provide the venue, and they always have a promoter that books the shows for them.
right.
Right. Well, a lot of venues, you have coffee shops and just small clubs and stuff, and it's like the boardwalk, and in California, it's for instance, I mean, they have all kinds of great shows, and they signed up and they posted. It's like, and even like the whiskey, obviously in Los Angeles, they post stuff all the time, and so these, from very obscure, weird little spots, like I said, like coffee shops that want an acoustic dude to come in, to nice big places. Even like the Hard Rock, they're posting saying, "Hey, we have these dates booked, and we could use some support." So that's venues, people that are sitting at the desk at the venue, but then tons of promoters and just independent booking agents. But they're needing supports too. And then bands that are touring, they're saying, "Hey, we're in Chicago on the 14th. We need local support for this date." So the whole goal was to centralize available gig opportunities. And we've just invited everybody to set up a free profile. And, it's a real cooperative experience. We wanted to encourage a sense of community and camaraderie. And with the bands, show trading their opening slots on their hometown shows. So basically, we'll bring you here if you bring us there. So again, we're just encouraging camaraderie and connecting the musicians with the booking agents and the venues that are actively interested in direct communication and booking and making something happen now. So, because we found, like with other booking sites, there's several of them, and they all serve their purpose, but we wanted to reduce friction by it not just having a list of emails that you can contact, basically cold call. We want to actually be connecting with people who are actively engaging. You know what I mean? We don't want an outdated list of emails. We want people that are there. So that's the whole thing, again, centralizing available gigs and available opportunities. So to get gigs is definitely something different, and we're super proud of it. But yeah, I don't know if that answered your question. I kind of went off there, but
Yeah,
Is
like
it get gigs as in like, is there a hyphen in it, or is it just getgigs.com?
Yep, get-gigs. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, show trading's kind of a lost art in its own way because nobody. I mean, you'll find a couple bands will do it, and then you'll get a band. For example, my band would find a gig close to our area, and then we'd never hear from that band. Like, well, thanks for nothing. Like,
Right.
But yeah, show trading's definitely somewhat of a lost art. It just depends on if the bands get along. It's one of those kind of situations, I guess.
I think it's all become more of a competition between the bands because decent shows are few and far between, at least in our general area of Indiana, it feels like. So I think everyone's jockeying for the same spots. So everyone's got this, I wouldn't call it ego or whatever, but they're all about themselves because it's like survival of the fittest. So that everyone wants to be on a good show, and they're going to do what they can, hop on that show and like, oh, how we got you on. How about you hit us back? And you don't hear anything. It's just seems to be the norm these days.
Right. Yeah. And you're right. You do see the survival of the fittest. Sometimes, but I guess it's just like watching the news. You're going to see the most horrendous horse shit, but then there's millions of people that are doing really cool, things every day that you never hear about because it's not sensationalized, So, and I see the same thing from my desk, we just see, and especially because we can see all the activity that's happening within Get Gigs, because there's a whole messaging system and there's a contract system where they can exchange agreements. It auto generates agreements based on the posts and all kinds of stuff. But and there's a rating system too. Did they were they honored the agreement? Good to work with. Would you work with them again? So we're counting on people being good humans. And there's a few little things set in place to encourage. Again, we've set up a community with a DIY and community and cooperative exchange. The ethos of being good people and doing right. So, the idea is, if someone helps you out, you would negotiate. Hey, then take care of us. There should be, there's a thread there, and hopefully they do it. And if they don't, then that's unfortunate. They turned out to be a foul, human in business. But we haven't really seen or experienced too many complaints. We get a ton of feedback. People are like, dude, this is an amazing tool, and we're swapping shows, we're booking stuff out of town. It's a great tool also for linking your tour. If you need to fill a date or fill many dates or just build a whole tour. You could look from city to city, 200 miles apart or 150 miles, whatever you want to do. And, kind of link stuff together, connect the dots. But yeah, it seems like, when you look at the website, you read, it's like, this is a community effort. We're here to help. We're here to help each other. And that's something too. You don't have to necessarily trade the show when someone, if it doesn't make sense, but you share local booking info. And we see a lot of that too. Hey, who books metal in your area? Can you help us out? They'll, send them 10 ideas or people to contact if they can't help them. So again, as much as we're trying to help reduce friction with the booking and help connect people, we're also trying to encourage being decent people and helping each other, which is something that's kind of exciting. At least for me. Like I said, I've been doing this forever, and with the Interlight agency, the management agency that I run, and I've been running for well over a decade. We've always found that we get way more miles out of a situation if we're being kind and doing our best, and we've implemented that same mood and MO or mode of operation into Get Gigs. So hopefully people appreciate that for what it's worth. You could run your business and do things any number of ways, but we just choose to be kind and encourage camaraderie. So, and it seems to be working. So I'll give you guys an update in 6 months. We'll see how it evolves and what it turns into. But, we're seeing 15, 20, 25 new profiles, new available gigs posted every day. So we're having consistent and ongoing traffic, and it continues to grow. So it'll be really interesting to see where we're at growth wise and community wise in 6 to 12 months.
I bet after this episode airs, you'll see a lot from our local area, because I know most of the
I've never heard of anything like this. So I'm like, that's kind of interesting, because I always somebody in a band I would know or whatever, they're like, hey, looking for dates in this and that town. It's like, I wish I could help them, but I don't know how the fuck that would happen.
Better go make an account on their Ed.
Right.
No, I mean, I should tell them to make one if they're going to go on tour. Then like they could definitely use that. I don't want to be the middleman. So yeah.
Well, yeah.
I wasn't being middleman. I was being for your own band.
Screw my band. Anyway.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're totally right. It's like you see that stuff on Facebook, and I'll shoot them a link like, dude, sign up here. It's free. You just set up a basic artist profile, and then you can filter. There's no fees. There's no bullshit. It's like, just get on there and make magic. So you can filter everything by genre and region and, time frame. So, genre, location, and date. And there's everything from, I know, gypsy, jazz, flamenco, banjo, guys from Syria to, the heaviest of heavy bands from your guys' area. I mean, there's everything. All, like I said, all over the world, literally Serbia, Russia, the Ukraine. There's people that want to tour and are telling me, but they can't get out because it's war torn territory. Like, they got to wait till the war calms down. It's like we've opened up such a big eclectic mix and blend of styles and people and from all over the world. It's been a really interesting experience. And I say that because having run the management agency, we're a boutique agency. It's myself and several other agents, and then a small team like our PR and design and video guys and stuff like that. But we only have a handful of clients at a time, so we can make sure that we give each act the attention that they deserve and need to make sure that the job gets done. So we've only, handled a handful of acts at a time over the years, but this opens it up. And now it's like we're almost like a part of a family for, thousands and thousands of venues and musicians now. So we're hearing all kinds of interesting stories, and from very positive to very negative and desperate. And it's like, hopefully this is, helping them and bringing them some joy. We certainly do get lots of positive feedback, and people are like, holy shit, I had no idea this existed. I would have killed for this 10 years ago. It's like, where have you been?
Right.
It's like we just finally put in the time and the money, and now it's live and it continues to grow. So yeah, it's a really very proud to be a part of it.
I feel like that rating system will bite people in the ass if they're being flaked. So that's kind of smart too.
Yeah. I mean, that's straight up. But it's like, we don't want to pressure anybody, and we're not going to penalize anybody. We can, we've had to pull down a few accounts if they're goofy, and we curate everything as it comes on to, cross reference and make sure that they are a real band, they are a real venue, because we don't want just people on there, looky-looing, and, we want people that can actually contribute and actually, they're either a performer or a host, and, they're there, and that's basically the extent of our policing, is just be cool. And but again, on the front end, we say, it's a cooperative exchange community. We're here to help each other. So even, if you get on there, it's the idea is show trading between bands. If you're not able to host in your town, surely if you're a musician, of several places that host music. So at the very least, be kind and be helpful. Share some contact information. That's all we ask, because we want a centralized portal, a centralized community where you can go and find helpful people, helpful information. And then also specifically, like I said, our focus is centralizing currently available gigs. So we have what is the equivalent to the Facebook news feed. Our news feed are available gig posts, and you just scroll those. You can infinitely just scroll thousands of posts and like, holy shit, I didn't know I wanted to go to this place, but this looks bomb. This show's going to be killer or whatever. So and people tell us that, you guys, which is also a cool thing. They're like, I don't know if you guys do this, I do it, but I'll get on Craigslist or I'll get on Facebook Marketplace and just like start scrolling. And I didn't know that I needed these, rocket powered fucking rollerblades or whatever goofy shit I see, but I'm like, damn, I want those. I didn't know I needed them. But people say that it's like addictive. They just scroll because they're like surprised that there are so many available gigs. And they're like, dude, I would never go to like, Paris to play this little weird metal club, but this looks amazing. And now I know about it. So, but yeah.
So I guess I'm going to bring up the question. So you've had this for a while, correct?
Yeah. It's we've been onboarding users, I guess, for about 14 months. It's been open for about 14 months.
Oh, 14 months. So this didn't exist during the Beast era when lockdown, and
we were building.
So
we were doing the development.
I guess it didn't affect you too much, because it's like, I wonder how many venues had closed down and what was in your network now from then. But you said you weren't even, so this is all fresh, huh?
Yeah. And as far as that, I of course have been, running the band management agency. And we're a booking agency really, because we're getting our bands on festivals, and we're partnering with a lot of the bigger booking agencies and stuff. So we're working with TKO and Artery Global at the time and all this stuff. So, where that went away, we just transitioned into releasing content and keeping our artists busy and active online during that time. So releasing videos and doing video premiere campaigns and stuff. So, so yeah, I mean, the only to answer that question, I guess, without saying any weird,
Right.
is that we were doing the development of Get Gigs during that time, and we just transitioned from booking out of the management agency just to continuing to release and promote the bands through releasing content and doing premieres and campaigns online. So then after the beast had dried up, we we just kind of started taking a tally and checking in with everybody. Like, are you okay? Like, what happened? Are you still booking? Is the room still there? So yeah, I mean, gosh, unfortunately 30-40% of the venues, of course, went away, or suffered the loss. But but through that, almost like a brush fire, it's like all these new flowers, all these new opportunities, fresh life after like a scorched earth type of effect. So it's interesting where we lost a lot. Now we're seeing a huge surge of new opportunities and fresh places that have opened up on the back of that unfortunate time.
How, so basically, like during all that, like how did you feel things were going to go? Were you like worried about your job and like you personally, like how did you feel? Like
I
how
was
things?
concerned. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I was concerned, and we're in Los Angeles, so I mean, there was times, and I was keeping a close eye on the news, probably like a lot of people, and I do try to avoid it. My
Right.
personality is to really focus on work and focus on myself and in my house and my responsibilities, and try to make a positive impact on the things that I can control. So when I'm watching the news and getting scared shitless because they're just it's like, holy, it's like, all right, well, we got water and we have these things and we're going to do our best and try to get through this. But yeah, obviously, incredibly nervous, and to the point, like I said, in Los Angeles, where I'm like, are we going to get, is this going to be like a Tom Cruise action movie where like, is this like, are zombies coming? There in the first bit, yeah, it was horrible. But again, you can probably tell by my personality here, but it just continued to stay optimistic and just continue to work and do what we could. But again, I must have had faith in a healthy future because we were dumping 10-12 hours a day of development into the building of the Get Gigs platform. So I knew sunnier times were coming. We just kind of just tried to buckle down, stay positive, and get through it.
Nice. So, seeing as you said you have a positive personality, so to the audience, I like to play the guessing game of what Mr. Damon looks like, and I got two potential people. One, I think he looks like David Seville from like the Alvin and the Chipmunks cartoon, or the guy from Blue's Clues. The guys from Blue's Clues. Is that what you look like? Either of those guys?
I really appreciate that. So what, the Blues Clues guy, what is that? The little dancing guy in the funny sweater? He's pretty cool.
Like when he had hair. Like he like lost his hair because he got older, but like
I got you. Well, I've had a shaved head for the last 20 years. So, and Dave Seville, he's like a cool old dad, isn't he?
He was like their music manager. I don't know if he was really their dad, but like that's all I can picture. So you're bald, basically. You said you're bald?
Yeah, I got a shaved head. I keep it smooth so I can swim faster.
Oh, I guess I was a way off. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I
think you're like
to start describing myself.
Oh, shit. I don't know. I was thinking like the way, because you got this positive energy going. I just thought of the Blue's Clues guy, but then you said something about management. I thought of like I mean, he must have brown hair and he likes to manage things like David Seville managed the Chipmunks.
How do you know his last name?
David Seville?
Yeah, I thought it was just Dave.
No, that was his full name.
Again, how the fuck do you know Alvin?
They always said it on the cartoon. It just kind of like it slipped off the tongue real easy, David.
I guess I don't have a memory of that in the cartoon.
There's something wrong with me. Sorry.
Did you hit him up to see if he'd manage your band?
No, he's just a fiction. Well, hell no. He yells at him all the time. I wouldn't want somebody yelling at me. I'm a little more stubborn than that to deal with that kind of shit.
Yeah,
I
but
got you. Yeah, now that you say that, I remember him. He was always yelling. I think because they were going
Alvin.
crazy. Yeah.
Well, they're all little rock star assholes. The problem was they were like basically like a glorified cover band, but whatever. That's just here and there. Anyway,
That's
but I guess
funny.
I was wrong. So
Yeah, I don't know. Both of those are cool guys though.
I was way off. So what you did the whole gigging and then playing in a band, and what made you, I mean, aside from getting the contacts, did you feel like you were more, leaning
Well, yeah,
towards
there was a turning point. There
the
was a
turning
turning point.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was. My brother, my older brother Thor. He's older than
Is that his real
he's
name?
yeah, Thor, and he
Hell
has
yeah.
no middle name. Thor, no middle name. It's
No middle name.
like the beast. That's like beastly. But
Nice.
he's an awesome guitarist, and he and I loved Pantera and early Metallica and all kinds of stuff. And he also like badass instrumental guitarists like Satriani and all this stuff. So we basically had like a wannabe Pantera with like weird Hendrix and Satriani type noises.
Sure.
So we were like super heavy guitar tone. And I played, a big drum set with double bass because I was influenced by Lars and Vinny and those guys. And we lived in Des Moines. So we were friends with Joey Jordison and the Modafidius and Slipknot guys, but they were, in their early incarnations at the time. But yeah, we were buddies with Joey, and he, Joey Jordison from Slipknot, and he
Rest
had
in
a
peace.
band. Yeah, absolute. It's tragedy there, but yeah, he was amazing, and he was, so we were listening to that stuff, and so we had heavy ass bands. So my brother and I, we were playing, and he and I played for like 10-12 years. We toured all over the Midwest and did all kinds of stuff, and won these battles of the bands for our big radio station. For what it was worth at the time, it felt awesome. We got one studio time and stuff, but we toured all over the Midwest. So we were in Des Moines, so we played all those Midwest cities. We were close to everything, right there in the middle. So we can go Kansas City, Minneapolis, Chicago, Omaha, St. Louis. We just were, just driving a counter or clockwise, just driving a big circle. And then sometimes we'd get crazy and go east, went to New York, and I did all kinds of stuff. But yeah, so he and I were writing and playing and performing this music. And then we had buddies that would come with us for as long as they could until life pulled them in a mature direction or whatever it was. But
right.
Yeah. So then, but my brother Thor, he always had a real strong interest in making films. And I think when we were about 30, maybe 32 or so, so we played from 17 to 32. We were literally on our way back from a tour. He's like, dude, I think I'm done. And I was devastated. He's like, I want to focus on my movies. But he's gone on to become an award-winning independent filmmaker. He's made all kinds of horror films and all kinds of weird different stuff. And he's worked with some really cool people and continues to make films now. And like I said, he's won independent film awards and has done all kinds of stuff. So it was at that time when he told me he was done. He's like, I love you, you stupid little bastard, but I'm gonna go do my thing now. Like, I want to go make movies. And like I think I backed the band van up to the dumpster at my apartment at the time and literally kicked my Lars Ulrich wannabe double kicks drum into the dumpster, because I was just like, I'm not playing anymore if I'm not gonna be with my brother, and I'm just not gonna do it. So
you just basically didn't want to start all over again.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you could have. I mean, drummers are always needed everywhere, but you're probably like, no, it's not. It won't be the same.
Exactly. And the thing is because he and I had, I think that the connection, because we were brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like we had some weird like ESP. You know what I mean? Some like kind of a mental thing between us, like a. I don't know if I said that right, but like we could the way that we play and wrote, we knew what the other one was going to do, so we could play a bit loose live, and we can, you know what I'm saying? We just were able to read each other because we had that connection.
You had the Van Halen Pantera Brothers thing going on,
right? Right, but about 30% of the talent. But exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was it. I was just like, yeah, exactly. Fuck it, I'm done. And I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do. But what happened was I discovered a band in eastern Iowa, and they're actually called Dystrophy. But I picked those guys up, and they were super cool. And I really believed in them. So I took all my contacts and all my energy that I had for my band and picked them up and started managing and helping them. And then about a year and a half later, we ended up signing a 4-album deal. And I landed us a big booking agent, TKO out of New York, and landed us tours. We were out with Disturbed and Buck Cherry, and played with Avenged Sevenfold, toured as direct support for Typo Negative on their last tour, which was one of my favorites. And so yeah, and then after that, like I said, I used my money from that record deal, my portion, my management portion, and just launched the agency, the Interlight Agency, and have been managing and doing band management and artist development since.
So basically, you basically liked it a lot more than just playing. Like you kind of felt like you were more comfortable doing this at first. When you said you did it for a while for the other band, it seemed like you kind of fell into it pretty easily.
Well, yeah, I just like, holy shit, these guys don't really have any future plans or understand what it's going to take. I was like, you guys, I think, are writing a lot stronger songs than you realize. Like, we should get this to some people. You know what I mean? Like, this is good. And so, I basically just started helping them get on some bigger shows and, help. I think it was the end of the MySpace days. So we were rolling into, understanding the power of the internet and stuff. So yeah, building up, their social presence and just building stuff up and basically booking. And, I lucked out and got us on a couple of big shows that really helped. We played a couple of, like I said, with Avenged Sevenfold or, Buck Cherry or whatever at the U.S. Cellular Center. Now all of a sudden you're in front of 5,000 people and your numbers start to go up. We started to get traction at radio, which really helped. And then, like I said, we ended up signing a record deal. But yeah, I was a bit heartbroken after my band ended, but I fairly quickly rolled into accidentally kind of discovering those guys and jumping in and offering to help them. So I didn't really have too much downtime.
So
but yeah.
What was more stressful, like touring with your own band or starting to be a tour manager or whatnot agent?
It's all the same. I guess I could be a bit more lazy and goofy if I wanted in my band, because it was my band and it was only my future. I'd be compromising if I was a piece of shit, or being lazy. But with, running these companies that I have now and actually helping people, I feel an incredibly strong sense of responsibility to show up every day and be present, so it's a bit more, I wouldn't say it's more stressful now. I'm incredibly comfortable because I'm confident with what I do, and I have a great relationship with our artists and my contacts. So I feel pretty good. It's not particularly stressful. It's only stressful when there's some kind of a weird, I get a call like, dude, they're not letting me cross the border, at 4 a.m, or, Donnie got hammered and sold my bass. It's like shit like that. That's kind of stressful, but yeah, it's like almost like being a dad, it's like a daycare sometimes. But
yeah, I meant like more like when this transition started of you doing that, like how did that feel in the early days, like as far as
sure.
Yeah.
I guess, it wasn't remarkable. Like the feeling, I didn't have too much feeling with it. I just knew, hey, we got work to do. So I don't know, So I think the stress for me is situational. If something strange comes up, we've had situations where vehicles have broke down on tour. That shit's terrible. I've had to fight with label people, defend the artists or argue on their behalf. I had, I won't say the name, but I had a label president that's fairly notorious in the industry for being a incredible tyrant. An effective but incredible tyrant. It's a very successful label, but he literally threatened to chop off my head. But I think it must have been Christmas Eve. He cut off tour support for one of our bands. He didn't. I negotiated it in the band's contract that we would be getting tour support for every tour date booked, X amount of dollars. So marketing, tour marketing dollars and tour marketing support. So whatever. Maybe $75 or $100 a day. the label was to contribute for every tour date that we were out, just to help pad it so the band could be comfortable. And that's still when the gas was like $1.75 before everything went crazy. But
Yeah.
so I'm like, shit, if we got $100 a day from the label, it's like, fuck it. So he didn't realize we were gonna go out and just fucking go until the wheels fell off the van. And he's like, Jesus, you guys have been gone for 4 months. I'm like, yeah, fucker. I got us a good booking agent. That's the deal. We all signed this thing. What are you doing? Oh, so help me God. I'll cut. He sounded like Corey from Slipknot when he gets pissed. He's like, I'll slit your throat and fuck it. Whatever. It's like, dude,
Wow.
it was like 2 days before Christmas. And he called me back. He's like, Merry Christmas, you piece of shit. It's fine. It's just, and I'm like, dude, you're a millionaire. You're lucky I wasn't recording that call. So now all I can do is like talk about it, tell a funny story, and not say your name. But
Right.
yeah, so those situations are stressful. But thankfully, because obviously we had our entertainment attorney and a contract, it's like, that shit's stressful. But I knew he had to cough up the money. It's like, dude, just transfer the cash. You're a millionaire. The whole situation is because you believe in it like we do. So help me help
Right.
you.
I mean, he wouldn't be sending out a terrible band if he wouldn't take a gamble on sending out a terrible band. So
right. It was honestly
reasonably.
it was honestly reasonably successful. We had several songs on the Billboard charts. We had songs in Miramax films. We had songs in video games. We had songs on like the WWE stuff. Like, I mean, we were killing it. Really, compared to, hundreds of thousands of artists that are struggling for any opportunity. We just came out swinging, and he didn't know I was so serious, I guess.
So basically, like, yeah, so you supported all these bands and their thing, and then you wanted to transition into your network here. And what made you want to do that? Just like help the little guy, just because you were sick of like what the man can do to people?
Well, what do you mean? Launching Get Gigs, the booking agency? That's kind of piggybacked onto the existing management agency. I didn't. The management agency is still going 100% full time.
Right,
We just also built that onto, and the concept was, for our artists and our friends, like, look, let's build this little thing. But then once we started telling people, it started to blow up. I think, that's 35 or 3,700 profiles on there now. Like I said, at least 10, 15, 20, sometimes 20 a day.
Wow.
Will come on. But yeah, so the reasoning was, it's like, I don't believe that booking and finding opportunities should be so complicated.
It can be somehow it is. Yeah,
it really is. There are a lot of obstacles. There's a lot of gatekeepers, and it bottlenecks at who has this information. You just get ignored. So it's like, all right, well, I know for as many people that want to cock block or roadblock or like I said, bottleneck and make this hard and hide information and be competitive, there are equally surely as many people that are interested in helping and being a part of a community that's more helpful. So I'm like, dude, let's just build this thing. We'll make a profile-based community for venues or booking agents and musicians, everybody, all genres, all walks of life. Just come on and be kind, post and share your opportunities and share information. Like, if that's my one legacy move when I'm gone, it's like, if we helped, and we are, I shouldn't say if, we are, it's happening today. It's happening every day since we went live. So I don't know, maybe I'm a bit self-deprecating, like it's going to be in the future, some future payoff or future result, but it's happening now. But obviously, as more and more people come on, the bigger it gets, and the wider the reach and the community becomes. So it's a constant, it's constantly growing. It's never done, and there's room for 10,000 or 20,000 or 50,000. If there's 3,500 in there now, where's it going to be in 2 years if it continues to grow at this pace? And there's no sign of it slowing down. And we really haven't even started promoting it yet. I just put out my first reel. I hate being on video because I'm like, I don't have time to make videos and promote stuff. It's like I'm busy managing projects. But we just put out a reel, and just to test it on Facebook and Instagram. And we're getting ready to start a TikTok. You know, it's like we're getting ready to start letting people know, hey, there's a free booking agency with a lot of cool
Hey,
opportunities.
do you have a nice ass? Because you're gonna have to shake it on TikTok.
Hey, I've heard about that. I'm usually sitting, but I do. You know, I went for a jog before I called you guys, so I do
Okay,
try
good.
to.
Yeah, work
I
them
do
glutes.
try to stay
That's
healthy.
what they want to see, some shaking glutes on TikTok live video or whatever the hell they call them.
And that's why
Yeah,
we're not
that's
on
true.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, there really is a large community of musicians and stuff. It is a great tool if you have the patience or tolerance. Thankfully, I have someone on the team that's kind of overseeing that stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
again, we're just getting into now, I guess to speak to the growth and the future of Git Gigs. But you know, yeah, we're just now, like within the last couple of weeks have started. We put on our first little reel, a little 30-second invite. Hey, check this thing out.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it'll be interesting, like I said, to see where we're at in a year. But to answer your question, like I said, there was really no transition. It was just something that we built onto the back of the existing management agency. And it was going to be for our friends. And I didn't, you know, I guess I didn't put too much thought into it, but I realize now, yeah, there's a universal appeal. There's people from all over that are going, dude, this is fucking amazing. Like, why has no one done this before? So yeah, it's I guess adding more chores and you know, to my daily work plate, but it makes me feel good to know that we're helping people, you know, honestly. So yeah, like I keep saying, I'm just proud to be a part of it. And you know, it was my idea, and I wrote it down on paper. I drew out the skeleton of what I wanted it to do, and the features. And but again, you know, these other websites, they have these blogs about, well, you know, why you need this and what this is and all this bullshit. It's like, fuck everything. We want gigs. I want to help people find gigs. I want to centralize of currently available gigs. Like, you can get on there. Like, if you guys bring it up on your screen or whatever, you can see like just there's like a live feed on the page. You know, if you go to get-gigs.com, like, you'll see that there's a feed that's updating in real time. So anybody that posts a gig, there's shit, New York, Arizona, just wherever, the shit coming in from all over. So I just knew in my gut, I'm like, dude, there's equal parts, equal amount of people that would be willing to help and be helpful and that would thrive in a community like this. And I was right, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I just figured there's a much easier way. And as a band manager, we knew show trading was effective. We always encourage that and use that approach with our bands. Hey, we'll book you here if you book us there. That's fucking cool. You know, hey, so now we have a show trading feature in Get Gigs. It's very helpful. And then also we've invited, you know, all the booking agents, all the venues that we know of and that we could contact, say, hey, this is available. If you have opportunities you need filled, post it on here, and bands can request it. And when they get a request, they can click and look at their EPK. You know, the bands get a free EPK. They get put in their bio and pictures, video, a Spotify or Bandcamp link. They get a fully customized little profile. It's all free. So it's like, you know, the promoter is, you know, they get a notification, a request for that date that they posted. They can look at the profile and see if it makes sense. Then they can engage, you know, in the messaging. There's a custom messaging portal, so they can go back and forth, discuss the details. They can activate an agreement based on the post. The site auto generates a booking agreement based on the details in the post, and the party that,
yeah, I'm actually checking it out as I can see where,
yeah,
like scrolling down, there's different cities. I see actually one in Lansing, promoter needs a venue, or excuse me, something for May 18th. So interesting. Okay.
yeah. And if you scroll that, like,
Yeah.
I mean, you'll see Czechoslovakia, there's Russia, there's, like I said, the Ukraine, there's France and Prague. I mean, everywhere, you know, in all genres. It's crazy too. You'll see like, you know, we're having a lesbian goth, you know, a prom, and we want X and X, you know, to, of course, all, you know, your standard stuff. We need a death metal band for this. We want country thing for, you know, there's festivals, there's, you know, there's everything, big and small, all genres, all walks of life. So, and that's something that we're proud of too, is having an all-inclusive community. As long as you're kind and you know, are willing to help other people, you're welcome. It doesn't matter what kind of music you are, what kind of lifestyle you have. None of that matters. You know, let's just help each other, you know, get gigs. So that's the heartbeat of that operation.
Yeah. And there's a picture of you, so I was way off.
That's me, brother. I was
Like-
waiting for you to scroll down.
I'm like, no, he looks like Stanley Tucci, if anything.
Now I don't know who that is.
Some actor.
Okay, cool. But yeah,
that's way off.
yeah, that's me. That's me, man. But yeah, that's
cool.
it. That's
Yeah.
it, brother. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely feel free to share that, like you said, with your friends that are looking for opportunities.
I'm actually writing out a Facebook post as we speak to promote the website. So
Very cool. Very cool.
I'll
Man.
have to do the same thing and then sign up too in case like my band wants to go somewhere instead of being lazy. But no, like I've never heard of anything like this, and it's like I'm now saying it today. Like I wish I knew about there was something like this, because it definitely cuts out the bullshit of trying to get on your Facebook and say, "Hey, anybody know where I could find a thing?" Crickets, 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 crickets. Nobody cares. It's like, you know,
Right.
now you're cutting out the middleman and
Just trimming the fat.
trimming the
Completely
fat, and then
the
you're
fat.
actually able to contact the venue, which is sometimes impossible to do because, you know, oh, so and so runs it, and then you got to email them, and then you wonder if they'll email you back. I mean, there's been a few people that are good at doing that, but man, it's like I book a lot of shows for my band, and sometimes I hate reaching a new place because you never know what kind of shit they'll put you through, and it's
Right.
like, oh, that's why I could not be in your position to manage anybody unless that was my full-time job, and then I would probably be yelling at people like Alvin and the Chipmunk style thing.
Dave Yeah.
Seville.
Yeah. I don't know. I think my transition out of the band and into managing, it was like I
Yeah.
said, I came out. I'm like, well, I have all these skills and all this contact, and I was kind of chilling. There was probably a couple of months there when I wasn't doing anything. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, and then, like I said, I kind of accidentally discovered something that I was like, holy shit, this is significant, or it could be. Musically it already was, and getting a record deal doesn't necessarily make something, significant. If they're able to play and have an amazing live show and impact people, that's awesome too. But I also believe that we could probably get a record deal because I knew that some of these songs were huge, and they were, they ended up doing really well at radio. On my website, like there's profiles for the different bands and projects and stuff, but there's like a screenshot of us on the Billboard charts with those guys, like between Metallica and just other big bands at the time. We were like number 43, like right under so and so. But yeah, I mean, it was just that's just a prime example of unbridled rage and determination to make something cool happen. And I've just carried that on. I've just carried that on with the rest of the project. So I don't know. I guess I was built for it.
So
kind of overcoming obstacles. So
yes. So I had another question. So like, there's a lot of, I mean, obviously from your days, getting a band like signed and everything, and it's a lot different nowadays when bands get signed. Like, do you think the dynamic is way different nowadays? Because I feel like the band still has to do a bunch of work depending on the record label.
Yeah,
I guess it varies with the record label. Like,
yeah,
I feel like they're not exactly doing what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, I'm not signed on one, but does that make sense? Like,
well, they're certainly not doing the development work that they used to.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to.
Yeah, they're not, unless you're ready and you're proven, then you're on the back burner. Because think about it this way, guys. I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm 47 now. So like I was watching movies like the Doors movie and I don't know, La Bamba and shit like that, where like someone comes up and gives you, they come up and give you a business card, and then all of a sudden you're a fucking superstar.
Yeah.
And when they find you in a garage. But like in my situation as a manager, I say, yes, I'm a manager, but it's artist development and band management. We need to develop this so we have something to manage. Like bands like to say, oh, we got a manager. Like, dude, it doesn't mean shit. We got a lot of fucking work to do. So, it's us against the world. Like, I'm your buddy and everything, but this is not something to be, we got a lot of work to do. That's what I say. It's us against the world. Nobody cares, believe me. So let's get to work. But yeah, so it's like, it's artist development. I'm an artist. I do artist development and band management. Yes, I'm a band manager, but it's a huge focus on the development. So to speak to what you were saying, absolutely correct. They want to see that, you know, you have obviously an active and engaged community that you've built, an active and engaged fan base, because they want to know that they're going to be able to recoup on any potential investment. But yeah, you know, but thankfully, because of technology, we're able to record albums in our bedroom now that sound fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? So because of technology and the resources, many which are at no cost because of the internet, we have all these resources available. You know, I'll tell bands, look, guys, let's take 6, 9, 12 months and just put all the muscle on the bones that we can. And then we shop and we, you know, iron sharpens iron. We continue to play live and refine our live show and be able to show them an explosive live show, and then have 6, 8, 10 unreleased tracks when we shop, so they know that we have some unreleased music in the pocket. But yeah, absolutely. You know, back in the day, they would develop. You know, they develop artists, but you know, they're just not doing that anymore. They're putting the money where stuff's done. You know. But yeah, so in that way, we see a lot of changes. But, you know, there's not anything a band can't do by themselves. You just see, honestly, like I'm not trying to shit on anybody.
Sure.
I'm being honest. But, you know, you see a lot of really lazy musicians. And that's in a lot of genres. There's a lot of people that have unrealistic expectations. Well, I have 2 really cool songs, and I bought a really fucking awesome jacket at H&M. It's like, dude, you know, like nobody cares.
Priorities.
Like, yeah, it's like, yeah, you know, yeah. Well, I got a photo shoot and 18, you know, Instagram fucking likes or whatever. Like, dude, there's a whole world ahead of us.
Right.
You know, so that, you know, again, unrealistic expectations. And I've often found that like some of the most talented musicians have the most realistic and grounded expectations, like almost to a point where they're like, you know, we understand there's a huge mountain to climb.
Yep.
So I don't know what the correlation there is, but it's you get some like real shithead people that are like, well, why are we not on Letterman? You know, it's like, well, he's been off the air for a few years and you guys are the wrong genre. And, you know, and. So it's interesting. Like I said, it's almost like a daycare. And, you know, so.
I feel like your get gigs thing is kind of cutting off the middleman just a little bit, because I don't know how. What?
I was gonna say I was thinking the same thing.
Which middleman do you refer to?
Well, like obviously a lot of record labels, they like to book shows for you. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of more things on there that they
I
do.
think that's more of a myth, to be honest. I think you still have to have your own booking agents and your own agencies that do all that. You're kind of cutting those people off, I think, like the actual hired booking agent. You could still
Well, the
have
booking
it.
agent, there's a shit ton of the booking agents in Get Gigs posting because they're booking tours for gigs, and it's their responsibility to find locals so they can put up a post. That's probably what you saw in Lansing. You know, a booking agent said, I need a local for this show. You know what I'm saying? So we're not cutting anybody out.
Well, I mean, I didn't mean that as a negative way. It's just
no.
It's like,
no,
I don't need to pay that guy. I'll just look for him on this website here, and then you know.
Well, sure. Yeah. I see what you're saying there. But you know, there's always going to be musicians that are purists and that don't want to pay, and that's fine.
Right.
But I mean, there's sites for
DIY
them.
kings.
Yeah. And see, there's like Indie on the Move, but I'm not sure if there's any actually specific available dates. You know, it's like it's a list of contacts, and did those are those contacts still active? Are those the people that you actually need to talk to? Who posted that thing? You know, is that website posting that shit, or did the person that actually wants to discuss booking post it? So those are all the corners that we wanted to chop off. You know, we want the booking agents, the venues, the talent buyers, you know, the venues, again, the booking agents, the promoters themselves that actively want to engage. So yeah, I mean, there's a shit ton. I mean, there's like Blackcraft Booking. There's all these booking agents are in there. You know, they'll ask us if we can post their stuff on their behalf. They'll send us a list of availables, or they'll do it. Some of them like to do it themselves so they can enter in the specific details or whatever. But yeah, it was never our goal or intention, you know, to cut anybody out. We just wanted to refine it and make it easy. It's like cabs, you know, you're going to have some people, we've had a couple people be like, well, like, dude, you're not going to lose your job. Like, you could use this as a tool. Like, it can help you. There's a list of places that you can contact. You can book the tour faster. And that's a lot of booking agents have actually come around. You know, and that's something too, like the DIY. And this is like, I'm being, like super honest with you guys.
Sure.
We've had, like some of the like punk and DIY super crusty, say, well, yeah, here's some Silicon Valley, trying to come in and invade our space. Like, dude, I lived in a fucking van. Like, I am just like you. I don't have a battle vest, but like, dude, I'm just like you, bud. I just created. It's just like using Uber. Yeah,
Right.
you can walk, but you could walk across town if you want, but you could also use Uber if you want to do it faster and be more effective. It's entirely up to you. But it's the same concept, and I'm a musician, I'm a band manager, I'm a booking agent. I just had a vision of how we can make this easier, make it quicker, and connect people. So again, I mean, Get Gigs is literally like Facebook, but the only posts that you're seeing in that feed are gigs. The only conversations that you're having, I guess you could, veer off in a conversation and message you, but it's all gigs. It's an entire world booking specific. So you're going to have some purists that just don't understand it and are not interested, but obviously a lot of people are, and that's who we're here for. We're not trying to compete against anybody or be the biggest. I just wanted to provide a platform where people could, again, we wanted to reduce friction. We wanted to reduce friction and unite people, have a cooperative experience. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
So
I
far,
don't,
so good.
Yeah, so I don't see this thing as a bad thing. I don't know why anybody want to be purist. Like, I gotta do it myself. I'm like, you know what? That's a lot. Again, it's a lot of work to reach a bunch of people. And like for example, I won't say any venues or people's names, but like I talked to a guy that was booking in an area up north, and he had guaranteed me, not guaranteed me. He said we're playing the 20th of this month. So all right, cool. Didn't hear any information. Okay. Slowly, the weeks are drawing by because I think I talked to him last month. I usually try to get information about a show within a month, so it gives us time to promote. And then I didn't hear anything from the person, and then the person had posted later on that his partner, whatever, is taking care of everything. And so I'm like, I messaged the guy. I'm like, should I message the new guy about this show on the 20th? And nothing. So then I added the other guy, try to message. Basically, there was lack of communication. And within like shows coming in within 2 weeks, and I still got nothing. Finally, the other guy was like, well, I guess it's not happening. It didn't line up. And I'm like, I'm glad, because I don't want to be trying to promote a show up north where we're not from within 2 weeks. And it's like, I don't know where I'm going with this story. It's just, I just don't like bad communications. I try to be pretty decent. Like on my Facebook, the message will come to me. I usually try to respond as quick as I can. I expect the same courtesy, but I'm not going to get that. And it's just, I hate dealing with people that don't run professionally. I don't think they're trying to be either, or maybe they act like they are, or they're busy posting on Facebook, but they can't answer my IM, DM, whatever. And it's like, that shit bothers the hell out of me. It's very frustrating. I was like, I just want to play. I don't want to fucking deal with the politics of it all. It's just
Well, and there are a lot of, and again, not to shit on anybody, but
sure.
In my work as a manager and as a musician. So, I mean, dude, like I said, I'm 47. I started playing live when I was 17, and I was like booking at a local pizza parlor and the Harry Mary's, dive bar in Des Moines. At that time. So I was booking, so 17 to 47. So I've been doing this full time for a long time. And I can tell you from running my band management agency and booking shows, like largely the booking agents have been like some of the flakiest group. Obviously, not all of them. It's not a blanket statement, but of all the people in the music industry, all the different jobs, it's like the booking agents are largely some of the hardest people to contact and finalize. And so, I mean, you're not wrong. And again, it's not a blanket statement because there's plenty of incredibly effective people. But again, I think that's probably one of the, one of the elements that it caused me to continue pushing it and building Get Gigs and launching that. So, like I said, we want to reduce friction. That was the goal. We want to make this easier. The vision, the goal was to have a central place where people can go and find stuff, no bullshit. Where are you trying to go? What genre are you? Okay. Type it in, boom. Something else that's cool that I'm excited about, so I'll share real quick if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
Yeah, we're currently building out a feature. It's like a tour route templates. So you could type in, we're a metal band from, Wisconsin. We're gonna whatever Sparta. We're in Sparta, Wisconsin, and we want to tour to Dallas. We want to be gone for 10 days. So what we're doing now is building out a tour route generator. So it says, okay, if you're starting here and you're ending there, and you want to be gone 10 days and you're this genre, here's 4 places in each of those cities to contact. So it'll, auto generate, auto populate, so you just type it in and then boom, 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 it tells you who to hit up in each of those cities. So we're working on tour route templates, a tour route generator. And then it pulls up those cards like you were looking at on the website. You see those things. Now, when you click one of those, it expands and shows you all the details. It's like Airbnb, right? You see it, oh, that looks nice. The price is right. You click on it and you can read all the details. So the kind of the same concept with the post on Get Gigs. So that's another feature that we're working on that we're really excited about. I mean, and that can expedite.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
That could expedite.
I'm gonna
Go
say
ahead.
shut up. That sounds amazing. Like if I had to do that, and then let's say if I actually entered that in, and it just that would be kind of
Makes
cool.
life
If I was
a lot easier.
Yeah, because if I was trying to book something out there, oh shit, I don't have to go through Facebook, try to find within the area. It's kind of hard to find. Like it is to find.
We need something like this for the podcast to find guests.
Right.
Well, you guys, that's something I was going to say.
Right.
If you're, we could put up, because we have a live stream. We call it live stream, but we can update the title. But yeah, the podcast. If you guys have obviously music and industry related podcast, there's no reason why you guys can't have a page and a post, and then musicians can say, "Fuck yeah, this sounds awesome," and click request the opportunity. Then you guys get link to their profile and say, yeah, you guys are dope. Let's do this, and then schedule it. So I mean, you guys, you guys could do it too.
As long as they don't flake out.
Well, that unfortunately, someone actually, a musician, said, "Oh, this sounds amazing, but is there a feature? Is there a feature that auto texts all the band members and the wives to make sure that we can actually do the gig?" And I said, well, babysitter not included. We haven't figured out that technology yet. We can't, we can only do so much. But yeah, again, like that. I mean, that's where our mind is at into the future, like the tour route generation. Like fuck, we're here, we want to go there. We'll be gone for 10 or 12 days, and then the site just auto populates 4 or 5 suggestions for each of those markets that match your genre. So I feel like we're doing some really cool and progressive shit. Yeah, we're super proud of it. We're super proud.
I think for the metal genre, which is pretty much like a very hard selling genre, they are going to probably appreciate this the most, because it's really hard to find a lot of places where this kind of music is acceptable. I mean, yeah, I mean, I can just see how this could go really well with metal people in general.
Yeah. I mean, there is. I mean, it's probably got to be 50% metal. So I totally agree. And I watch those metrics, as a drummer, as a metal drummer, as a retired musician, as a guy that did this, as the band manager and booking agent. I'm watching the kind of the numbers and the variables, and I'm seeing, there is a shit ton of great metal in there, and heavy bands. And yeah, it's really interesting because like the bars that sign up, the venues are like dive bars, with like a mural of Lemmy. I'm like, dude, this is fucking amazing. Perfect. I love you guys.
Well, that reminds me. So if a venue does close, is it updated on there? Like, because venues keep closing or opening. It's a hit and miss nowadays, but how do you know when a venue's been closed?
Yeah. I mean, we just try to keep our ears up, and we do get messages sometimes, because I have actually WhatsApp. The WhatsApp support system is coming directly to my cell phone. So I'm the guy that's like talking to everybody. So people are like, hey man, we changed booking agents, or hey, this place closed, or there was a fire or whatever. So, again, there's only so much that we can do, but we are cognizant and do our best to make sure that everything's updated. And again, we're relying on the people who, have the profiles to hopefully remember to make an update if there's a change. And if we become aware of anything, then we do our best to update stuff and make sure it's up to date. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's incredibly important.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool that you have like a highlight feature for a brand new venue that's looking for music artists right away. Yeah, that would be, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
what we do is we have features, admin features where we can boost. So if something's a cool priority, and shows are marked 7 days, 7 days left, 6 days left, 1 day left today. So shows are being auto renewed to the top of the feed based on certain parameters, so nothing gets buried. And then we're able, admin tools in the back end to kind of highlight stuff like you said, so we can kind of feature and highlight cool stuff or things that, I guess like the editor's picks type of thing,
Mhm.
or that type of stuff. Like again, so if you guys set up a profile for the podcast, like I could highlight you guys and keep you in the top 100 of that feed for a while or whatever, or I could just bump it periodically. So yeah, we do have features like that as well. So
Is there other podcasts on there?
yeah, there are several. There's like
Okay.
local band smoke
Okay.
out and different stuff like that. Again, it's not something that we've really promoted, but some have found us and come on. Like I said, local band Smokeout's one of them. You guys are familiar with them. Um, the stoner guy that does reviews while he smokes. He's always fun.
I'm actually creating an account right now.
Okay, cool. Just use a good picture. That bothers me. People like literally take a picture like of their coffee table. I'm like, dude.
I'll just use the image we have that is on all the podcasts when everything is uploaded.
The one I look stupid in. That's
Yeah,
okay.
it's like AI generated artwork that looks it's us, but like the AI morphed us into their own creation of what it thought we'd look like. It doesn't really look like us, but it does look like it. It's weird.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. Like I said, I think it would be probably live stream would be, you would set up a promoter, a promoter account and then select live stream. I'll have our developers add the tag for a podcast. If that makes sense. I don't know why we didn't do that, but
Mm.
but yeah, you guys would be more than welcome. And that's something as I could boost that, we can share it on our socials and stuff too. So, and like I said, it's really interesting because we're now just really starting to like get in the lane of marketing and promoting and really raising awareness, because we spent this last year working out all the bugs and building in new features and stuff. So now we're at a point where like, dude, this thing is incredible. Let's actually start letting people know about it. So you guys will be on that wave of marketing.
Awesome.
I think that's pretty cool. Like after the Beast, this just emerged. Like it's kind of groundbreaking in a way. I'm lost for words, and that's rare. And I'm like, I've never heard of anything like this. Yeah.
Well, man, that really means a lot, sincerely.
Right.
Honestly, that's
That makes you the smartest man of all time. I mean, like we're not like the cocaine, like here's a record contract days, but this is pretty cool. This kind of like just
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, we've
Right.
like it's built with love. You know what I mean?
right.
It's built with love. It really is, and it
Yeah.
comes from me doing this forever and just seeing all the, like I said, the bottlenecking and like you talked about, these people that are kind of like, it's unfortunate they're not sharing information, they're not helping each other, and it's like, dude, like if you help this guy, he could probably help you here. So
Right.
we're almost teaching a new behavior. We're encouraging,
Yeah.
we're encouraging a certain behavior. It's like,
I've
dude,
always
just be
yeah.
cool.
I've always tried to like return a favor for most bands. Like that's how I met Brandon. He like got us a show, and then we were supposed to play a show together because I'd always keep my promise. And then the Beast came and took our Halloween in April show that we made up in my own hometown, and it never happened. So, and then a lot of things changed. It's like, but in my mentality has still never changed. Like if a band wants to swap gigs, I'll do my best. It's just like I try to be a decent person and understand that it's tough out there for everybody else.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Well, that's something to be said too. It's like we can achieve our goals while also being cool and helping. Like, I don't know, man. Some people might not have time for that, but
yeah.
maybe this isn't for them. and even, you don't have to have long-winded conversations and make a whole new bunch of friends. I mean, you
Right.
can use it how you want, but we're coming at it with a sense of camaraderie. Fucking help each other. This is awesome. This is
Right.
an opportunity to help other people while helping yourself. Like, fuck. What's
mean,
wrong with that?
As I always say on the show, we went through some bullshit. We shouldn't have to be mean anymore to each other, even though some people never change. It's like,
Right.
we lost a lot of years of live music. We should all be a lot better with each other on this, because
Right.
who knows
And
what will
be
happen next.
grateful.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like, don't lose sight of what was important. And I feel like some people have, and a lot of bands broke up, whatever. But like, again, we got robbed of some good years of live music. Don't screw it up.
Right. Yeah. We
Yeah.
got grounded. We got grounded.
Yeah, I'm not. I
And then
wasn't about. Yeah, I wasn't about to watch a concert in like a cattle cage. Fuck that. No, I wanted to be up close, get beer spilled on me, smell someone's armpit who hadn't showered. Like, we all miss that. I don't care.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to, experience that in VR. And I love YouTube. I'll put in my stage in ears and listen to shit on YouTube, and that's a great, it's fun at home a little bit, but you can't replace the energy of being in a live setting with 1,000, crazy asses.
I
Um,
I had done that.
so-
I had watched one of my favorite bands YouTube before, like, and I'm like, this is
It doesn't
awesome, but it's
feel.
not this. No, it's not the same. I'm like, I could feel it, but I wanted to be there, so it's like, it's not the same, obviously.
Right, right. Well, like you said, we should, all be grateful, that we have the opportunities that we do. But, some people are, never going to be satisfied. It's never enough, like you were talking about the communication, and, some of that stuff's never going to go away. But, all we can do is what we're doing, being cool, sharing, and
Right.
encouraging each other. And so, and you guys are doing it. You guys are awesome, giving the musicians and people an opportunity to share and tell stories and come on with you guys. So you guys are just as big a part of it as I am. So good job out of you guys as well.
We're not as cool. We're just
Hmm.
for small potatoes, but we try to let everybody have their share to speak of their stories.
Well, that's awesome. It's sincerely appreciated. Like I said, when we first got on, I appreciate it too. This is exciting for me. So I appreciate it, guys.
I interrupted Brandon. What were we gonna say?
I don't remember.
Uh,
The profile for us is now active on there. So
Okay,
Uh-oh.
cool. Yeah. I like I said, I curate. So when we hop off here, I'll take a look and I'll approve that, and it'll go live in the system. And yeah, and that's something too. I'll be more than happy to push that and encourage people to hit you guys up. So just like you said, you'll be posting some stuff. I'll be doing it for you guys, so you'll be getting some traffic from us as well.
do you have a
And
do you have a Facebook page anyway, or is this just website only, your own website?
yeah, that's that's the website that you're on. But yeah, there's a get-gigs Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff for sure.
Okay. Because I'm gonna eventually post it on this to help a lot of my, because I want the people to know about this. This would be great for everybody else who tries to find gigs, basically finding gigs. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean that's incredible and really appreciate it, because obviously the more people on there, like I said, it's about connecting dots. So, we're trying to like I did one of these podcasts with a dude that was like in Missouri, and he was asking me questions both from the booking and the get gigs and the management side. He's like, yeah, it's like, we're in this kind of rural area, what you have any suggestions, for like connecting the dots, and so that's really something that we're interested in, because all the major markets are represented on there. There's Los Angeles, San Francisco, Reno, Vegas, all the major Midwest markets, all that stuff, all your capitals, and even B markets. But it's like we're seeing, Runnels and weird little towns. It's like, yeah, we want the dive bars too, because those can be some of the best shows, and also help fill an open date when you're between big cities. So yeah, so the more bands that are on there, the more venues. So it's just good for everybody. So yeah, I mean, if you guys posted that shit, that'd be incredible. And I'll, of course, be returning the favor. And that, my friends, is the exact fucking purpose of Get Gigs, the camaraderie and helping each other. So
You need to
Mission
you
accomplished,
need to
boys.
watch your mouth, man.
I-
No, I was gonna
That's-
keep you like a dirty secret and be like, "How you getting these gigs?" I'm just good, and then lie. But I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that because, again, as you said, it's supposed to be a positive experience for everybody. Because why be a greedy asshole and share your excuse me your booking venues and then not tell anybody? So I
That's
don't.
the secret of this show, the big misconception. It's called Dark Side of the Scene, but we're trying to do something positive.
right.
And we've had people shit on us just because of what we're called. They're like, you're just going to destroy things. And I was like, this is literally not even what we're about. We're trying to open people's eyes and help bring more positive stuff out of all this. Like, and I think this is a great opportunity to help out because it's helping bands find shows and connect with other people and do their tour. Like, it's something beneficial rather than destroying stuff. It's trying to build things.
Right. Well, and as far as you guys are concerned, like you said, someone said, some negative because of the name. As an outsider, I didn't take it that way. I hopped on it. I think, I messaged you guys like, dude, I'd love to come on and chat. I thought, maybe talking about funny shit that's happened in the scene, telling some funny stories about some weird stuff or some dark stuff, or myself as a manager, maybe I could, I would had shared some stories about avoiding some pitfalls and some bullshit and some traps and schemes in the industry. But yeah, I mean, some people are just lazy and goofy and jump to conclusions. What was it? I had a guy. He was hounding us on a post in a musicians group. We posted, the link, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not creating no profile. I'm not blah blah blah. I don't create profiles to promote my music." I'm like, dude, you're arguing with me on Facebook. You created a profile on here. If you looked at his Facebook, he's saying, "Can anybody help me with gigs?" I say, dude, here's a fucking list of them in all of the cities that you're saying you want to go play. And you tell me you're not setting up a free profile because you don't want to upload a video in your band name and a short bio. It's like, then fine, keep begging your friends that aren't helping you. I told him, you're on Facebook arguing with me, telling me you don't want to set up a free profile. Like, you set up a free profile on Facebook to argue with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so some people you just can't win. It's like, what do they say? You can lead a horse to water or whatever. It's like, dude, I could have helped you. Like, but you're so stubborn and opinionated. Like, it's free. It's free. It's help.
Right.
It's like, you're starving. Here's a sandwich. And he slaps it out of your hand.
Was he a bass
like, dude,
player? Not I'm joking.
Possibly.
Okay.
I don't know. Bless him. Yeah. As a drummer, it's usually drummer jokes. So I'll roll with you on that.
Well, the only difference here on this podcast is we praise drummers and bass players for who they are and the lack of them. So we've been pretty bass player and drummer friendly here.
That's awesome. Yeah, drummers are in incredibly high demand. You see some of them that are like 5 different bands.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, guys, what do you think? Should we wrap? Should we go get some dinner?
Yeah, it's on you.
Yeah.
No, you said you were short on time, so we don't want to take up too much of your time.
No,
no
we're
worries.
all good on our end.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, I appreciate it. I'm not in a hurry outside of I'm gonna feed the fam and transition into. Yeah.
I was just saying, I'm gonna try and get my kids to sleep and go to sleep myself.
Awesome.
You're out in California, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like 3 hours ahead of us.
Behind.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's behind West Coast Pacific
That's
time.
what I meant behind.
You guys, are we friends on Facebook? I mean, I saw your post and we were messaging about this opportunity.
I've had like 70 different people try and friend me, and I don't just accept everyone's friend request because I try and at least know the people beforehand. So there's a chance I didn't accept it, but now that I've talked to you, I will. That's just my way of. It's my personal account. It's got my photos of my kids and everything on there. It's like, I don't know who half these people are or anything about them. I'm just getting random friend requests. So I don't usually accept them if I don't know who they are.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, man. I totally understand. Yeah, if there's like a page for the podcast.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, is that where we were messaging? I'll look back through messaging, or if you see me, just message there so it brings it back to the top. Because I want to be able to tag you guys and give you guys some love too. So I'm
Yeah.
just trying to connect to make sure I can
There's a
tag
Facebook
somebody.
page and an Instagram page, which Instagram I don't really use a whole lot. I'm old school. I don't know. Ed and I we're what are you, Ed, like 43? And I just turned 39. I don't like
I think I'll be
Instagram,
44. I don't remember.
and I don't have TikTok. The only reason I have an Instagram is because of band stuff. And I just use Facebook, and I don't even like Facebook. So
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I'm
This
not a
stuff is
social
annoying.
media person.
I'm not either. I'm just kind of forced into it because of all of this stuff. So I'm trying to make peace with it. Like I said, we just started making those videos. I'm like, dude, I gotta be the face of this thing.
No.
It's like, fuck. You
But
guys,
there is a Facebook page. It's just look up Dark Side of the Scene. I think you were messaging me on that originally.
yeah. I brought it up. I clicked out of our chat here, and I am following it. And I see the AI art. Um, Okay, you guys, I really appreciate you guys, and I appreciate what you're doing, and thank you so much for taking the time to bullshit with me.
Not a problem.
Thanks
If
for
you
not
want to come
giving us
back,
bullshit.
yeah. If you want to come back on sometime and actually talk about some of the actual things you've experienced, we can do that on a future one.
Of course, yeah, we could do a bi-monthly thing. I mean, if you guys had musicians that were looking for, managerial input or whatever, I mean, obviously, as you guys heard, I have kind of wore many hats and still currently am. So, I have a lot of information and resources and advice and all that stuff if it's beneficial. So if you guys want to talk again in the future, I'd love to spend some more time with you, of course.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Also talk about like how well this has been doing since we last talked to you. Your gig app.
Awesome. Of course. Absolutely. You guys, I really appreciate your time.
No problem.
No problem. Have a good night. Thank you.
Cool, guys. Take care. Thank you.
Yep. Bye. And anyone out there still listening, if you'd like to be on Dark Side of the Scene, send an email to brandon@darksideofthescene.com. We'll get you scheduled on a future episode. Definitely go check out getgigs.com. Pretty sure it might be a game changer. So, got anything to say?
No, I'm kind of blown away by this, like that this actually exists. Like normally I'm not shocked by something, but holy shit, dude.
I'm surprised someone hasn't already tried this, to be honest.
I don't know why I didn't, you know what? Because it's a lot of work. That's something I actually forgot to ask him. Is that like I just lost train of thought. I said shit. Oh well.
But yeah, we're gonna wrap this one up, everyone. So again, check out getgigs.com. It's definitely something that would be beneficial if you're in a band and trying to book shows. I'm just looking through it right now. It looks pretty cool. And if you want to be on Dark Side of the Scene, send me an email. Other than that, we're gonna roll on out. Good night, everyone.